Good morning, you badass motherfuckers. It's the results. Kill excuses. The morning drinking show. I'm your host, Greg. Getting back on this motherfucker once again. We get back on here, whether you getting on here or not, whether you just hop in and hop out because you can't handle the heat, you can't handle the truth, right? You can't handle this shit. I know. It's life, right? It's life. Chances are you can't handle your own fucking life, your situation, the one you created. You just faking the funk, right? I used to just fake the funk, right? Wishing someone would come and save me, someone would come rescue me. Are you waiting for someone to come and rescue you, right? Come save you from your own self? Shit, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen like that. I wish it, I wish it could, man. I wish it could. Jesus may save you right into heaven, but he ain't gonna save you from your circumstances right now. If you in a mess psychologically, right, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically, if you're any kind of a mess in any of those areas of life, it's your responsibility to fix it. It's your responsibility to fix it, to heal it, to improve it, right? To make something better. Ain't nobody can do that shit for you. I'm so excited. We just got this brand new automatic coffee machine. It's like state of the art shit. It makes the best coffees, man. Ah, I feel like I feel like a king. I feel like a winner. I got the best coffee machine right now. Rumi Coffees here at the motel. It's delicious. And I love to start my day with that. But even greater than starting my day with coffee, I start my day with positive affirmations. And that's not always easy. Last night, it's actually been for a while. I've been having a tougher time sleeping. I feel like I keep waking up in the middle of the night, and it's not so easy to just go back to bed. But last night, I had a dream that I thought it was real. Fuck, I thought it was real, man. So when I woke up this morning, I was like kind of stunned because I was like, wait, fuck, that wasn't real? Oh, shit. Anybody have those kinds of good dreams where it's like, whoa, shit, oh, fuck, that wasn't real? Damn it. And so, but it was a challenging dream, right? It was a challenging dream. And so, again, I'm trying to always communicate the process here, man, the fucking game called life. When you come out of your sleep state, it is so important, man, for you to just like literally start flooding your mind with your conscientious state of being with positive affirmations. So I now have like a reel that I hit. I just hit play in my mind and it just starts like affirming positive affirmations, right? From the earliest get go. Like even as I'm trying to process and deconstruct a dream I'm coming out of, it's I have to play that in my mind. And then I start listening to some positive affirmations, some tracks, and that just reinforces it even more as I get into what journaling, meditating, and there's a lot of people, you guys don't even have this. You have none of this. You ain't doing any of this shit, and it costs you nothing, right? It costs you nothing, right? You don't have to go get a membership. You don't have to like get cleaned up and go drive somewhere. This is literally just your beginning of your awakening state of being, right? Of just saying, fuck. Some of y'all wake up, fuck, I gotta go to work. Fuck, I gotta do this. Fuck, I gotta do that. But if you gave yourself a little more time in the morning, right, you could really start to set yourself up for greater successes in life by really creating that positive mindset. And I've been grateful. Um, Man, I ran into a guy a few weeks ago when I was traveling in Colorado. And, a lot of times I'll have these just casual, just, conversations and passing and that's it. Right. And sometimes I'll share those stories when I meet people. I'll share the story. Oh, yeah, I met this so and so, whatever. But this guy, we actually exchanged numbers and, you know, he was talking a lot about a men's group that he does. And then, and also some other cool adventurous stuff, kind of adventurous kind of guy like myself. Like attracts like, me and we're both pretty adventurous dudes going through some stuff, healing on that healing path. And so we've been following up and he invited me into the group and I've gone the last 2 weeks. It's a really powerful group. Um, I'm not really at liberty to say a whole lot about it because there's a lot of confidentiality in it, but we all need community. And I believe that there was I believe one of the reasons why the universe, why God kind of connected me with this man in particular is so that I could build a greater sense of a tribe of men around me. And that's beautiful because I've been going to this group and it's very candid, it's very real, it's very open, it's very vulnerable, it's very fucking raw. However, there's these things called commitments, right? And there's a great book out there. It's called The Atomic Habits. And I've tried to share the book Atomic Habits with a few people I was health coaching. And, when you ain't ready, you ain't ready. And when you don't want to go, you don't want to go. And maybe, it's like I love Bedros Killian. He talks a lot about, be the type of person that doesn't brag about, oh, I've read this and I've read that, 100 books. Be the type of person that's read 5 books, 10 times because you're able to really dig the gold and the lessons and apply the shit of like 5 life-changing books into your life. And I have a handful that is like that I listen to on a regular basis. It's like I can give you the same 5 books, and everywhere I go, even yesterday, I'm like talking about the same like handful of books that have really impacted my life. And I don't just listen to it once or read it once. It's like going back to it, going back to it, going back to it, because even as I continue to grow and become a better version of myself every day, I know that if I haven't listened to a certain book in like 6 months, if I go back to it, boom, man, this whole other aspect of the book is going to really highlight and manifest and apply itself into my life now that it wasn't able to do 6 months ago, a year ago. And I talk to a lot of people that I'm like coaching, and people are we're some stubborn sons of bitches, man. It's like, fuck, getting people to like fucking do shit with consistency is tough. That's the moral of today's story, the fucking topic. Because in yesterday, we had to go around and talk about, it was reflection, right? Because here we are. I mean, we can reflect on here too. We're at the halfway point, right? 23 is half over. We're in July now. It's like the other side of the fucking hill, right? And when you look back over the past 6 months, what are some of the commitments that you told yourself you would do that you ain't doing? What are the commitments that you told you, and you've probably even told some others, and you ain't doing it, right? And it's not about why. Why aren't you doing it? At the end of the day, when you tell yourself something and you don't do it, it could be something so simple, you guys. When you tell yourself, hey, I'm going to fucking clean the kitchen, and you don't do it, right? You are deteriorating and eroding your own personal worth, your own personal esteem, your own personal sense of trust and respect for yourself. That is a fucking deal between you, yourself, and you. No one else. When you tell yourself something so simple, and even the big things, oh, I'm going to go back to school. Oh, I'm going to do XYZ. And then it don't happen. Oh, I'm going to lose this much weight. Oh, I'm going to start getting healthier. Oh, I'm going to start going to the gym. Oh, I'm going to start getting back into whatever this thing is you love to do. And when you don't do it, right? Regardless of the what? What's the other half? What's the bottom, man? What's the bottom of the logo? The excuses, right? It's the excuses. Regardless of all the excuses, because everything you got that isn't a result, when you say something, right? Like, it's your words matter. So your words are so important. So when you say shit and you don't do it, right, it's fucked. It is so damaging to you, no one else. Like, yes, of course it's going to harm other people, but fuck the other people right now. It's about you. Saying what you mean and meaning what you say and being a doer, right? That when you say you're going to fucking go to the gym, like you're going to the gym. When you say you're going to lose weight and be healthier, you're going to fucking lose weight and be healthier no matter what it takes. If you say it. Because if you don't do it, and that's the problem, accountability, and we don't have accountability with ourselves. Right? And it's deteriorating society because we can't count on anybody's word no more. Can we count on what the politicians say? Right? Anybody still fucking taking the politicians' words for truth and justice, integrity? Who can you believe nowadays? Right? Because we're all bullshitters, man. Everybody's bullshitting themselves and they're for sure bullshitting others. That's been my whole fucking mantra around here, man. Is we got to get fucking real with ourselves and really start to measure and account for your words. Don't just fucking blurt shit out. So yesterday we were going through and everybody's talking about the commitments we haven't kept. And then kind of to close out the meeting, we basically said, well, what are some of what's a commitment you want to declare today? And everybody went around and did their commitments. And, the problem, and it's not a problem, but it's a byproduct, right? This was a men's group. And I don't know, I can't speak from a woman's perspective, but in men's group, I know that there's a lot of ego that comes out. Even in healthy men's group, there's still ego because men like to compete, right? And so a lot of times we will blurt out something. We'll say what we wish we could do versus what we have really calculated, evaluated as being a realistic thing before we say it. We just blurt out what we wish we could do based on what the last guy said he was going to do. So it's kind of like a one-upping mentality. It's all ego. So we just blurt shit out. And because I've read this book multiple times, Atomic Habits, it's so important that when you want to do something new, right? Because again, look, your life is all built on what? Habits and patterns. Your habits and your patterns are who you are right now, right? If sitting around and having tons of time to fucking Netflix and chill, right, is your habit and your pattern, well, guess what? You reflect that. You reflect that on the scale. You reflect that with your energy. You reflect that with your motivation, right? If you never miss a game, never miss Sports Center and fucking whatever the fuck, right? Guess what? That's your habit. That's your pattern. And what's so difficult is when you want to switch to a new habit and a new pattern, right? Call it these damn resolutions at the beginning of the year. A lot of us say, oh, I'm going to new year, new me, healthy version, whatever, whatever. And we usually create these lofty goals. And then before you know it, life hasn't changed. And even things may have gotten more difficult. We give up. Right. And so, what the author in Atomic Habits talks about is making ridiculously small goals, ridiculously small. So, if you're someone that's been saying, hey, I want to go to the gym, he says, look, tell yourself in the next week, I want to go to the gym one time for 5 minutes. That sounds dumb. But it matters what the fuck you say. So if you tell yourself, I'm going to go to the gym one time for 5 minutes in the next week, there's probably not a human being on this fucking planet that couldn't do that is capable of driving a vehicle and has a vehicle. If you have a vehicle and they're capable of driving it, there's probably not a human being on this planet that cannot achieve that goal. One time, 5 minutes. And it sounds dumb, don't it? It sounds stupid. And he literally highlights that as being the metrics of success. Set the bar fucking super low. Because when you set the bar super low, here's the thing. If you're going to go through the trouble of getting into some like exercise clothes, getting in your car and driving to a gym, there's probably a pretty fucking good chance that if you walk through that door, you're not going to just set a 5-minute timer, walk in, get on the treadmill for 5 minutes and say, boop, I'm up. Cool, man. I made my goal. No, you're probably going to stay for maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Who knows? But you have told yourself not what you wish you could do. You have told yourself what is super fucking like ridiculously low of an expectation of saying 5 minutes. But in doing that, you are building self-confidence because you are keeping your word to yourself. And that's exactly what I did yesterday. And I could tell a lot of guys were like, what? Because everybody had lofty goals. High expectation shit that was going to force motherfuckers to probably compromise. And it already happened. I heard back from one of these men and they had already compromised on their goal. This is literally less than fucking 12 hours. But they had already compromised on their goal because they said it and they hadn't even fucking looked at their itinerary, their agenda, and their life, but they just said it because it felt good and it sounded good and it's what they wished they could do. And here I am, my goal, right? And I can be transparent about my shit. So one of the things that I told myself last year, which it's really cool, right? Yesterday, I kind of reflected, oh shit, right? Yesterday was 7/11. I'm 11 days away from what? 11 years of sobriety. And I'm really proud of that. Well, this whole journey started last year, 22, right? It's all on me. Chronicling what? My 10 years of sobriety, where last year from January 1st to July 22nd, I got on this motherfucker, hit live every single day. I told myself I would do this every day, man. There was days I did not want to get on the fucking thing, man, and press the button. And there was times, you guys seen it. It was late night, early morning, all kinds of weird fucking hours, but I still did it every single day, 7 days a week for whatever that was, 202 days. Nonstop, man. Getting on here. No compromise. You talk about that building confidence? Fuck, dude. That shit was not easy. This is live, just pressing live. Right? But that established who I am and who I can be because I kept that promise to myself. And that was a big one, right? But I fucking showed up. There was days, man, I didn't want to show up and I still showed up. But yesterday, so part of the journey, right, is me wanting to birth this book, The Chronicles of the Drunk Motherfucker, right? That's my book. It's in me. It's in me. And it's not just a read through. It's going to be a practical application. Every chapter is going to have a fucking life lesson, a work, something you got to work on, something you got to really drill down on within yourself. And I told myself that I wanted to start writing it. So I outlined it. I even did the chapters because I had this real big download last year, but it just hasn't happened. And I want to make excuses for why I haven't started writing and making the time, because I write every day, journaling, but I haven't invested the focus and the importance of actually putting this book together. So yesterday I outed myself. I said, hey, a commitment I've had to myself was to start writing my book. And I haven't kept it. And here's my commitment for the next week. The next week, I'm going to spend 5 minutes, right? And I actually said it different. I said, I'm going to spend 5 minutes over the next week, right, working on my book. Well, they took that as 5 minutes a day. I didn't say 5 minutes a day. I literally meant one time, 5 minutes over the next week. Dude, that's the lowest fucking bar possible. Right? And I already did it. I knocked it out this morning. I even set a timer. I set an alarm saying, Chronicles of the Drunk Motherfucker at 7 o'clock, 5 minutes, right? And I gave it on repeat because they kind of one up me by making it every day. And I got on there this morning on the computer. I got on and I started writing for 5 minutes. And I think I even went 6. See, that's the beauty. You don't usually just go for 5, you go for 6. And guess what? Tomorrow, I'm going to try and get on there for 5 more minutes, right? It seems just so low. It's low pressure, but I'm building confidence. And then I'm also building a new pattern. And so I'm trying to tell you guys that this is how you win also. This is how you stack results and get success little by little, right? If you feel like you need to lose 200 fucking pounds, 50 pounds, whatever it is, right? The idea of losing all of it in one fucking day, 1 minute, as I just saw 222s going across the board. That's how we know we're aligned. Damn, that was a lot of 2s, 6 of them. But that's how we win. That's how you can win. By ridiculously small goals, right? If you've been saying, hey, I want to get outdoors more, I'm going to go for a 5-minute walk one time in the next week, but you have to do it. But most of us say, I'm going to work out every single day. My goal is, if I want to get back in shape, I'm going to hit the gym 7 days right now. I'm going to go every day for a minimum 30 minutes. I think someone said something like that. And I know, I'm like, all right, man. Right. He set like 3 things that he wanted to do. And it's like, we'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting next week to hear who succeeded, who kept the commitment, and who didn't. And my feeling is that most of these fellas, these men, are going to probably compromise, because I heard some pretty high, lofty goals for people that are kind of starting flat, not moving and firing on all cylinders. And I know a lot of people I'm talking to and reaching on this show, you're flat right now. You're flat in a certain area, meaning you don't have momentum. You don't have the inertia. You don't have, right, the law of motion working for you. So you have to build it. So today I went 5 minutes. I went 6. It happened quick. I said, oh, wow, 7, boom, boom, boom. And next thing you know, 6 minutes later, I was like, fuck yeah, I did it. I did it. I'm going to try to do it again tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I get to 7. It doesn't matter. Something is better than nothing when you're telling yourself stuff. But if I had told myself, for the next weeks, I'm going to go 2 hours, 7 days. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot. 2 hours is a lot. Right? The goal is to maybe build to that. I would love to set the bar at 5 minutes and then get so caught up and have so much time, like maybe on the weekend or a day that I have some time off, that I go for like 5 hours nonstop. Wouldn't that be incredible? Write like 2-3 chapters? Holy shit. What? Wow. Where'd that come from? But it started with 5 minutes. Not, oh, I'm going to write for 5 hours for 5 days this week. No, I'm not writing anything right now in terms of the book. Why the fuck would I set such a high bar? That's what Atomic Habits talks about. And it's the same with you. If you're eating unhealthy, if you're feeling unhealthy, it's one meal, switching up one meal into a more healthier version, right? It's counting your calories one day a week, not every day. And just feel what it's like to count it for one day. Small fucking goals that you can just jump right over, that doesn't feel like, oh, fuck, I've set myself up for failure, versus setting yourself up for greater success. And we feel like we can't do this. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Because at the end of the day, your mind isn't, we judge ourselves. But when it comes to shit like this, your mind isn't a judge. Your mind is just saying, did you do it or did you not do it? It doesn't care what it is. If you say you're going to clean the kitchen and you don't clean the kitchen, your mind says, well, we didn't do it. That's not important. And we don't, our word doesn't mean anything. So you're confusing your own fucking self when you say you're going to do something and you don't do it. Your brain is like, I guess we don't do what we say. Right? And it's like you actually have to reprogram the fuckery going on in your head. Is that clear? That y'all ain't clear with yourself. So if you say you're going to clean your car, right? Or do a garage sale or whatever this is, like, you know, take a vacation, like, you gotta do it. Or else your brain is saying what you say you don't mean. So it's just like, fuck it. Nothing matters. But if you say you're going to clean your car, don't say the whole thing. And if you're not actually doing it, say, hey, I'm going to spend 5 minutes cleaning out all the trash in my car today. 5 minutes. Right? You get a bag, you go down to your car, pick up all the trash in your car, right? I bet you that takes you 10 minutes, but you just did what you said you were going to do. You exceeded it. And that's how you build self-confidence. And then you can go apply that to all kinds of other shit in your life. Right? And I've done this in a few different ways. I've told myself that I was going to go and, be more communicative, right? I'm going to like connect with people out in public more, so that if I make eye contact with somebody and smile and there's like a greeting, I'm going to have a conversation with that person. I've told myself I'm going to have conversations with people that have eye contact and a smile that's just totally organic. I'm going to have a conversation with that person. I'm going to introduce myself and connect. And the other day I was going to wimp out, man. I was going to wimp out because it happened. It was at the gym. And I was like walking around saying, man, I know I saw that it went down and you said you were going to do it. So are you going to do it? And I said, yeah, I'm going to do it. So I walked up to this person. We had a conversation. It was great. Everybody else is probably like, Dad, what the fuck? But I'm saying I'm a doer now. It's important that I continue building my self-confidence. And I'm encouraging you to try and build your self-confidence. But in order to do it, it's like set the bar super low. Get your ego out of the way. Right? Doing something, saying, hey, I'm going to do this thing one time, 5 minutes. And you end up doing it for an hour. That's fucking awesome. That didn't mean that you saying 5 minutes was dumb. That just means that if you had said I'm gonna do it for an hour 3-4 times this week, and you don't really even look at your schedule, and then you only do it twice. Yeah, you did it twice, but you said 3 or 4 times, you're fucked. You fucked yourself. Because you're actually not really measuring your words, meaning what you are saying. You're just fucking giving lip service, and that's called bullshitting yourself in my fucking vocabulary, my vernacular. And I hope that you'll stop that shit, right? Because we're at the halfway point, and a lot of you said, hey, you're going to start doing this and that this year, and it hasn't started yet. Because I talk to a lot of high-performing men yesterday, I listened to a lot of high performing men yesterday, and they're struggling. They're struggling to maintain the things they said they were going to do. So the average other people that maybe aren't so as high performing and being held accountable by themselves, it's easy to let shit slip and let stuff slide. But at the end of the day, you got to stop that. And the way you stop it is by saying, what is something what are the top three important things that you would like to improve in your life? And out of those three, pick one and then start looking at some of the ways that you can improve that area, but set the bar super low so that you can have greater success. Because see, the thing is right, it's all about compounded interest. It's all about an extended period of time. By you showing up day after day, little by little, over a long period of time, you're going to have greater results. Right? So me saying 5 minutes, I'm going to write for 5 minutes. I only said once. That's how low I set the bar. These suckers put me at a week and documented it. So I went with it. Because I know that that's still obtainable. I can find 5 minutes in my day to honor something, right, that does matter to me. Birthing the Chronicles of the Drunk Motherfucker, right? My story, right, of addictions and self-destruction to the rising fucking eagle, right? The war fucking eagle, the spiritual war eagle, right? It's worth sharing with the world. And I try and do it here little by little bit every time I get on the show. But the book is something that will hopefully be timeless and it'll help other people out. And I believe that that is an absolute requirement, right? For me, I know that I am required to not just savor the victories of my healing journey, right? Healing my past, healing my trauma, healing the childhood wounds, right? As I continue to grow and expand and increase the abundance in my life, I know that I am required to give back. And I'm okay with that. I enjoy it. It means a lot to me to be able to share my story, to share my experiences, and to speak my truth. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody that gives this message a listen, because that tells me that there's something inside of you that wants to fight for something better, right? You've been through a lot, and there's still a glimmer of hope that things can get better. And the thing is it can. It starts with your mind, right? But it also goes into what you're putting in your body, your nutrition, how you're using your body, your exercise, your activities, right? What you're putting into your mind with your affirmations and your continued learning, and then how you are pulling all that together to then give back to the world, to make it just a little bit better place, as I just saw 333s going across the screen. And I hope that if this message does resonate with you, right, that you'll support it. You'll support the cause. Results kill excuses, right? Get yourself some merch. Man, these new caps, them new caps, it's fancy. It's a beautiful hat. I love the caps. And I hope that you will snag one of those caps on our website. And just know that the book is going to start happening. It did. I felt like it started happening today. And I just ask that you would send me that positive energy to stick with it, to stay with it, and to birth that book, because it's not easy. Because as much as I've healed, I've distanced myself. I see that guy. I can see the pain that I was feeling in that moment. But I don't know. I don't fully recognize that man anymore. Right? I'm not that man anymore. And so to go back and relive all the bullshit, man, and a lot of it was me as a drunk motherfucker, is crazy. And it's not so easy, right? Because you gotta have to kind of relive some of that. But I think it'll even add deeper roots to my healing as I kind of go along that journey and find a way to really communicate and inspire others to embrace their healing path, to embrace their highest self, and to start investing in you, knowing that the more you invest in you, it's not selfish. It's self-interest. And when you invest in you, the interest you get back is the ability to truly love others from such a genuine, beautiful, sincere, deep place inside of you. Not just out of necessity, right? But because you truly are full, right, of love, self-love. And that self-love overflows for you to be able to love others where they're at, no matter where they're at. And you don't have to change them. They could just be where they're at, because everybody's got to learn from their own experiences. And it's got to be time. The time's got to be right. I've had a few people fail along the way on this health coaching journey. And it sucks. It sucks because you see the potential in people, but when they can't stick to the script and cultivate the discipline, right, to overcome themselves, right, then yeah, failure is an option and it sucks. But I wish all you well. I'm gonna keep getting back on this motherfucker until it's all done, man, till it's all said and done, right? No matter how far we go, no matter how big it gets, no matter what it becomes, I'm gonna keep getting on here and keep speaking truth and keep speaking in a way that I hope inspires you, right, to live your best life, compete against yourself, right? Take on that challenge. Compete against yourself. Say, who were you yesterday? Who can you be today if you actually put in the work? Quit making the motherfucking excuses, because you know the drill. Results kill excuses. It's all on me.